Hey everybody, Joy here. It is a Saturday afternoon. I imagine everybody's out doing something with your spouses and your kids today, but I'm all alone in my Edmond house. So, I had the most exciting morning. Oh, I don't know if you would call it exciting, but it was a surprise morning. And so I want to tell somebody about it. And you know, I don't have anybody to talk to except you guys. Does anybody out there care to hear my story? Raise your hand if you want to hear it. Anyone? 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 Oh, I think I see a couple hands raised. So here I am at my cutting table that I built all by myself that I'm still folding fabric on. I have 2 pieces left of fabric to fold. And I've got Rose, the chicken that I made. And I have my paint chips because this is the living room. I think I told you guys last time I was on here that my husband said instead of buying a new house that has a big room upstairs that I can make my quilt sewing room, he said I could have this living room and the formal dining room, which has always been his office. And so he's going to take the bedroom where I sew now and he's going to make that his office. And he said I can have this whole living room for my sewing room. So my goodness, this whole week, I have been studying. Furniture. There's furniture called Koala and there's furniture called Kangaroo. And I guess it's all made in Australia, hence the name. And I really prefer the Kangaroo furniture because of the setups that they have. But if you order the Kangaroo furniture, it comes in like 50 boxes. And you have to take the boxes all apart. And then, and I mean really, because I'm not ordering just one piece. I'm probably ordering 6, 7, 8 pieces of furniture here. And you have to take the boxes all apart, and then you have to watch these videos, and then you have to do all these screws and nuts and bolts and put it all together. So I definitely don't want to do that. So the Koala furniture, I understand, that Jan told me from Be Sew-In here in Oklahoma City, she told me that it's like $400 delivery fee. But they bring it in, they'll even take it upstairs, but there's no stairs here. And they'll put it in your room and they'll unbox it and they'll haul off all the trash and they'll put it totally together and set it up. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that's worth $400 to me. For sure, since my husband isn't here. I'm really starting to miss my husband, but things have not changed. I called him the other day, it was 7 o'clock at night. And I called him, I don't know, just to say something about the Koala furniture or something, and I got the usual, I don't have time to listen to you, Joy, I'm building a wheelchair. So I started to cry just a little bit, and then I thought, oh, you're just being selfish, you're just being selfish, you have everything in the world, so just leave him alone, leave him alone. So then this morning, I sent him this little text about some stuff that I've sold. I never, ever sell anything. I'm moving stuff out of here. I've already gotten rid of the giraffes and the elephants and the peacock and the rug and a wicker chair. And my daughter's putting on something called Facebook Marketplace. Oh my gosh, if you guys don't know about it, the stuff sells as fast as you put it on there. Everything I put on there has sold, and the people have brought me cash. They always bring you $20 bills. And they brought me cash for it. They've come here, they've picked it up, and I only have one thing left that's on there. It's this wicker bookshelf thing that hasn't sold. And so, oh my gosh, it's so cool because always in the past I've given a whole household full of goods, pictures and furniture and couches and everything. I've just had it hauled off to the Salvation Army because the Salvation Army comes to your house and gets it. So I'm actually making money here. It's kind of fun. So anyway, I texted him this morning and I had all my $20 bills lined up and I took a picture of them and sent them to him. I thought he'd be so excited. He's like, well, you quit texting me, I'm busy. Cry again. So anyway, we're not going to think about that. The sale still is not final. The sale is supposed to be final August 31, which is this coming week. But our attorney is still going over the agreement. And once our attorney gets through making his comments, then our comments have to go to the other attorneys, and then they have to do it, and then they have to send us their comments. So it may be another month, who knows how long before this thing actually goes through. The wheels of progress move slowly. But I wanted to tell y'all about what happened to me this morning. Don't you feel like some mornings, I pray in the morning and I'll say, Lord, I just pray you'll guide my steps today and that you'll give me wisdom, because the Bible says that wisdom comes from you, God. And so I ask you to give me wisdom today and help me to be a blessing to everybody I come into contact with. So I pray that in the mornings. So anyway, none of my family wanted to do anything with me today. So I was kind of on my own, and so I'm remodeling this room. I'm not remodeling it, I'm just getting rid of the old and bringing in new, because it's going to be my new sewing room, right? So I'm going to paint the walls, and then I'm going to order that sewing furniture that goes with all of my different sewing machines. So I had to go out and figure out how I'm going to get paint and how I'm going to find a living, breathing human being to actually put the paint on the wall, because so far I haven't had any luck. I've already called 2 different people, and they don't call back. So I decided to go to the paint store. Sherwin-Williams went to the paint store. And I said, do you know anybody who paints? And they looked at me like, are you retarded or what? And so, no, let me see, that's not the word you're supposed to use. What is it called? Mentally challenged? I get that a lot anyway. They have this great big huge bulletin board thing, and it's got painter cards all over it. I mean, there's probably 100 different ones there. So I just started pulling some out, and while I was standing there, and of course I'm yickety-yak all the time talking to the cards on the board, and some customer came up behind me and walked over to the wall with all the cards, and he reached around me and he grabbed this one card and he said, here. So I put that card on top. I think I'll call that guy first. But anyway, before I went to the paint store is the story I want to tell you. Oh my gosh. So I left here to go to the paint store, right? It was about 11 o'clock, 11:15 in the morning. And I thought, well, I'm just going to go ahead and go to the paint store this morning. I have nothing else to do. So I drove out of my neighborhood and to the road called Bryant, and I went straight north. And when I got to the road where I should have turned left to go to the paint store, I decided to turn right and go to Jimmy's Egg. And I thought, what do I go to Jimmy's Egg for? And I thought, well, I really like to eat breakfast, and it's like 11:30 now. And I thought, by the time they bring my breakfast, it'll probably be, you gotta wait in line first of all, because the tables are always full. So by the time I get a seat, by the time they get my breakfast, it'll probably be noon. So I'll go there and I'll call this lunch. So I drove to Jimmy's Egg, parked. I walked in. You could tell it was the end of rush period. The tables were all dirty, but there were several empty ones, and the cleanup guy was cleaning up the tables, and there was a sign, and the sign said, please wait to be seated. But the sign was kind of back in the corner. And when you walked in the restaurant, you walked in and you'd look over there and it said, please wait to be seated, but then you turn and you walk this way. So anyway, me being confused as usual. I'm like, well, I guess I'll just stand here till somebody comes over here and seats me. So I stood there and I stood there and I stood there. And it was like I was invisible. Nobody saw me. And so I just waited and waited. I kept thinking, oh, well, it isn't noon. I've got plenty of time. Blah, 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 blah. About that time, these 3 people, I probably stood there 10 minutes. And about that time, 3 people walked in behind me. I didn't know it yet, but about 3 people walked in behind me. And somebody walked toward me and said, lady, do you want a table? And I said, yes. And so I started to follow this person. And when I went to follow her, the 3 people followed too. And so she said, well, oh, there's nothing over here. I thought something was over here, so we got to turn right back. So I turned around, here's these 3 people. I'm like, oh, hi. And they said, oh, we're sorry, we thought she was seating us. I said, no, I'm all by myself. I said, I've been here while they're seating me. And they said, well, come sit with us, because there was a table for 4 that had just gotten cleaned off. And the waitress was saying, what about this table? And I said, y'all go ahead. I was there first, so she was saying, why don't you sit here? And I said, no. I said, you guys go ahead and sit there. I said, I'm by myself. I'll wait for the next table. And they said, no, come sit with us. And I said, no, that's okay. And they said, really, we insist. You must come sit with us. Total strangers. Total strangers. So I thought, well, this is nice, you know. I don't have anybody to talk to, and these people are all my age. And there's 2 women and a man, and they seem very nice. And so I said, well, okay, because there was 4 chairs, and 3 of them and 1 of me, 4 people. So I went and I sat down to them, next to them, with them. And so we started talking, and turns out that their mother, who has dementia, who was 92 years old, just died this morning. This morning, you all. And this is why these were 3 siblings, 2 sisters and a brother, and they were together. They all lived in different cities around here, and they were all together because their mother had just died. And I just said, oh, I am so sorry. I said, how old is she? What did she have? And it turns out she's the same age as my mother, same thing my mother had. And I said, well, it's really better, isn't it? It was just time for her to go. I said, I just lost my mom too, and she had dementia, and I took care of her, blah, blah, blah. So we started carrying on this conversation about our mothers. Well, these people, I don't know why, and I don't understand it, but they just acted like they adored me. They were so loving and so kind, and they kept saying, I'm so glad you sat with us. Oh my gosh, you're so refreshing. Thank you so much for sitting with us. Let me get a drink. And said, oh my gosh, you've just really cheered us up so much, and thank you for sitting with us. And I told one of the guys was a brother, his name was Bobby, same age as me. He's a smoker. I could see the cigarettes in his pocket, and I told him he better put that right this minute. He's going to be following his mother. And he was really sweet to me. He was sitting right next to me. And at some point in the conversation, I said, yeah, I'm on my way to the paint store. I need a painter. And he said, I'm not a painter, but I'll come paint it for you. Really nice guy. So anyway, we ordered our breakfast. We got done with our breakfast. I introduced myself. They introduced themselves. It was Bobby, Jeannie, Sue, and then a little while later, Sue's husband, Terry, came in. And here I am sitting in his chair, y'all, across from his wife. And so he just pulls up another chair and sits at the end of the table. But I mean, it was just, it's just like a little miracle that God put these certain people together in this certain place at this certain time, and I somehow got included. And they considered that a good thing that happened to them today. And they paid for my breakfast. I said, oh, I know, I'll pay for my own breakfast. I mean, I actually intended to pay for all of theirs. And the little guy next to me picked up his ticket and my ticket. He just absolutely insisted that he buy my breakfast. So I said, okay, but next time's on me. So I asked them their mother's name, and I got the mother's name. And I want to find out, they're going to cremate her, and then her service is going to be next Saturday, and I would love to go to it. And I asked her name, but I didn't think to ask where her service was going to be. So I'm thinking probably you could Google it, in the newspaper or something. Surely there's a way to find out. But anyway, isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? So anyhow, I left there, and I went to the paint store. And I got more paint chips, which I left in the car, but I picked out all these blues because I wanted to paint my room blue. But then, after I picked out all of these blues, I went and I found a rug. I'll show you the rug in a second. I went and found the rug, absolutely love the rug. Love the rug. Blue walls, white furniture, and this rug, love it. Only now the walls aren't going to be blue. Although when I show you the rug, you're going to say, that's blue, Joy, but it's not. It's really not. It's more of a green color. I have it in the car. I'll show it to you. It's more of a green color. It's kind of strange. But anyway, I'm excited, and I'm going to fold up this fabric, and then I'm going to go get those cards I got from that paint store, and I'm going to start calling. And whoever shows up first, to them and hire. Because I want this entire room painted ASAP. Now, when you order your Koala furniture, it takes 2 months to get it. So the soonest I'll be able to have this be my sewing room is going to be all of September, all of October. I guess it's going to be my Thanksgiving sewing room. But I will certainly keep you posted, and I'm going to take the camera off the tripod and I'm going to show you this pretty rug. Remember, I had that cheetah rug in here, and I bought that when we first bought this house 10 years ago. We didn't want to spend any money because we were only going to be here 2 years, right? Nor we ever got that, well, my husband had that idea. So he never would let me decorate. And so I moved stuff here that used to be in our trailer down at the lake. Went and bought stuff that was in the back of the furniture store that had some tiny little bit of damage, so it was 75% off or something. So everything in here is cheap, cheap stuff. So the rug actually wasn't, because when we went to buy a rug, let me get another drink. This one was all rolled up. You know how they come in great big giant long hot dog shape, and was wrapped up and covered in dark paper. And I was telling the guy the size that I needed, and nobody had that size. And so the guy said, we've got this one on the floor that a decorator ordered. She special ordered it, a special size. And he said, it happens to be the size you're looking for. So we said, well, fine, show it to us. So he showed it to us, and it was the colors that we needed. Excuse me. I wasn't crazy about it, but it was like half price because the lady had to pay for part of it because she decided not to take it. So she'd already had to pay for part of it. They marked it down. And so I got it. I found the receipt. I paid $250 for it. I sold that rug 2 days ago for $100. So I was so excited. So anyway, let me show you my new rug. And of course, this room is just a mess right now, but it's going to be blue walls, this little rug kind of in the middle, and the sewing furniture around it. I want to have a couple chairs and a table in between so I can sit and hand stitch or sit and rip or sit next to my daughter or whatever, you know what I mean. Okay, so let me show you the rug real quick. That's the rug that I'm going to have on the floor. And I just think it is so pretty. I found it at a place called Tuesday Morning. Isn't that unbelievable? My daughter told me they had rugs. Anyway, see the colors in it? And the color of the walls is going to be this color right here. That's the color I'm painting the walls. Okay, hope you like my story of my morning. And I've got to go. I'm going to go out to my car, get the cards I told you I got today, and I'm start going through painters. And the first one that shows up, as long as he looks trustworthy and reliable and he's not 15 covered with tattoos, I'm going to hire him, and we're going to start this paint job this week if there's any way I can do it. Okay? I'll be back soon, you guys. Bye.